So I've been spending the entire morning fiddling around with trying to get this set up to be ideal for whatever this YouTube channel thing is. And I just decided enough's enough. I'm just gonna record something, see how it goes. So this is my first video on YouTube. My name is Aaron. I live in Mechanicsburg, which is in Pennsylvania, near the capital, which is Harrisburg. I'm just a regular guy. Made some notes here so I can kind of be prepared. If you decide to follow me along in this journey, you'll see that I'm an organized guy that likes to be prepared for things, and that's probably why I've spent the last 2 hours, well, the last 2 years thinking about creating a YouTube channel and just overanalyzing everything and researching it. And I was watching more content yesterday, and I came across a guy who just said, just do it already. Just create something. It doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't. So I'm married. I've been married for 22 years now, happily, to my wonderful wife. And I've got 2 daughters that are teenage, or one is just about to be a teenager and the other one is just about to start driving. Proud girl dad, would have it no other way, love having daughters, would do anything for my family. Really my whole purpose in life is to be there for my family. No matter what I do, no matter my thoughts, any of my thoughts, my actions, it's always goes back to the why is because of my family. Because I want to be there for them. I want to take care of them to the best of my ability, and I want us to just be happy, loving family. So I'm creating this YouTube channel just to show that anyone can make content and put it out there for others to watch. The quality of the content obviously is up to you, or is up to me. Everybody is going to be their own worst critic. I know I am my own worst critic, so I'm going to think that my content is complete garbage. And maybe you'll think it's garbage too. You know, it doesn't matter really what you do with your content. If it's a creative outlet for you, if it feels good to put your story out there for others to see, then absolutely do it. I mean, that's the beauty of this platform. Really is that you can use your phone, which just about every person has a phone now, and every phone has a camera on it. So if you've got a smartphone with a halfway decent camera and access to Wi-Fi, which you can get pretty much multiple places for free, then you've got access to putting your story out for others to see. I mean, it's never been easier for people to communicate with each other via different forms of media than it is now. We can talk on the phone, we can text, we can instant message, we can put videos out we can Snapchat, we can post things on Instagram and Facebook and all the other platforms, and of course YouTube. So I'm creating this channel because over the many years that I've watched YouTube, I've always had this itch to kind of, well, maybe I should just put something out there. I like to call myself kind of a jack of all trades or a master of none. I've got lots of different skills that I would say that I know enough to be dangerous about. I say that a lot. I know enough about things like woodworking to be dangerous about. So I'm sitting in front of these planter boxes that I created in a matter of a few days with some basic tools. A little bit of background on this. I've always kind of been into creating things with my hands. I was loved wood shop in high school, created a number of tables and bread boxes and book holders and shoe holders and things like that, small pieces in wood shop. Always got really good grades in it. Didn't really do much with it, but I've always helped people out with, help my family out, help my dad build a deck on the back of his house, helped him redo the front porch on the back of his house, building things here and there, help my brother with his deck. So I know enough about carpentry, and I have the tools. So I came across, and of course my rabbit holes that I fall down into with YouTube, that people are creating these planter boxes and then selling them on Facebook Marketplace for a profit. Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and we'll get into that here in a little bit as far as the other little side hustle things that I've done over the years. And so I immediately thought, wow, I could build those things pretty easily and then possibly sell them. Well, of course, me being the overanalyzer and the planner and wanting to know, perfectionist, I fell down into this rabbit hole for several days, researching countless YouTube channels and videos about things that you can create, in particular these planter boxes, and they're actually created with cedar fence pickets. Now you can build them with all different types of wood, but the ones I've been watching, you can use cedar fence pickets, and cedar is a great material to use for planters because they are the wood is rot resistant, and insects can't stand the smell of cedar. So it resists insects. It can handle moisture from plants and being outdoors, and so it'll last a long time. And best of all, the fence pickets you can pick up at any of your big box stores or lumber suppliers cheap. A fence picket, cedar fence picket in my area is just under $4 a piece, and that's for a 6 foot tall by 5.5 inch wide fence picket. They're about 5/8 of an inch thick. So if you're considering getting into woodworking, or if you've had this kind of interest in creating things or building things with your hands, planter boxes are the perfect way to get into it. They're very easy to build. There's tons of channels out there with step-by-step instructions. Even some of the YouTubers will include free plans, so it has a cut list, and then you can follow along in their videos. So cut list, you cut all your boards to the right measurements. You need some basic tools like you can start out with a handsaw and a miter box, which you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot for under $20. I already had some tools. I have a miter saw, and I purchased a used table saw on Facebook Marketplace for $50. There's so many used tools available on Facebook Marketplace. You can really outfit yourself nicely for a very low price. But if you don't have any budget, you could literally create these items with a few hand tools, just under $100 really. Like I said, I've been into creating things and working with my hands for many years, so I already had a lot of tools. I already owned an air compressor and a nail gun for other projects that I've done in the past. So I was already set up for creating these planter boxes. So in the last week or so, I've created what you can see here behind me, as well as a couple others small planter boxes that I created for my mom and for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day, and they of course love them. So it gave me great pleasure to build those and then give those to them. As far as what I'm going to do with these other things, my plan is to, of course, list them for sale on to start out on Facebook, on Marketplace, and then through just my own personal Facebook page out to friends and family. What I'm running into, or what I'm noticing though, because this is planting season, is that there's a lot of people building these planter boxes in my area and selling them. I haven't noticed too many in my immediate area like Mechanicsburg or Camp Hill, so maybe that will be beneficial. I have yet to list them for sale. That is my plan for hopefully later today, is to get these items listed. I still have a couple other ones that I want to try building as well, which of course, going back to the perfectionist in me, I want everything to be just so before I put it out for others to see or to judge or to purchase. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing with woodworking. I've got some other ideas. I've been collecting videos, of course, on YouTube. I'm going to build some other cool stuff. I found this really cool idea, which I'd seen before. It's a cooler for your patio. And you use cedar fence boards for the outer cladding of it. You build the structure, main structure with 2x4s, and then you use a cooler that you can pick up at Walmart or Target, and a few other basic items that you can buy online. So you can buy things like a little hose spigot that you would connect to the outside to drain out the water from the inside of your cooler, and a little handle and hinges and things like that. Of course, you can buy those all at your local hardware store or your big box store too. It just depends on how quickly you want things. That's an idea. Some different planners. I've found a couple that I'm not going to share with you just yet, but some cool planners that are different from these basic kind of square box planters. Now the one behind me here, the plans of course I found online from one of the popular YouTubers, which is awesome. So shout out to Aaron at Who's the Boss, and plus we share the same first name and it's actually spelled correctly, which that's cool, so approved. So I actually built this planner based on his plans, but then I added this trellis / privacy screen behind it. So that's kind of what I'm doing with woodworking right now. So the reason I have all this time to do things like build planter boxes in the middle of the week on a weekday is that because I'm currently not working for anyone. For the first time in my life, and I'm in my 40s, I actually left a job voluntarily without a plan, which was kind of scary, and it's still a little scary, but been lucky enough to sell some things and do some side hustle type projects that has brought in a little bit of income to keep us going. We'll see where this goes. You know, I love the freedom of working for yourself, and when somebody who has worked in a job of one form or another since they were in their teenage years. I started working when I was 14 years old. I literally haven't stopped, and now I'm in my late 40s. It gets old after a long time, and most people just feel stuck because they just feel like they can't do anything else. They have to just keep going because they've got responsibilities, they've got bills that they have to pay. They just need to keep bringing in that income. So like I mentioned, I'm very lucky because my wife's salary has been able to carry us for the most part over the last couple of months. So I left this job back in early March. It just wasn't a good fit for at least this stage in my life. I can see people that are younger, just getting started right out of college, maybe perhaps being a better fit for those folks. Or some people just like that type of work. So I've had this time to really reflect and kind of decide or think about ideas of what I can do, if I can tap into my skills that I have, my abilities, and So woodworking is something that I've just gotten into the last week or two, kind of transform my garage into a little mini wood shop. Some other things that I've been doing over the years, the one that I've done more consistently recently at least is auto detailing. So I have this auto detailing business that you'll see the sign behind me, Mac 2 Auto Detailing. Feel free to look me up on Google. I've got all the pages set up for my detailing business. I've got, an Instagram, a Facebook. I've got a YouTube channel that I haven't touched in years. I've got a Google My Business set up so you can look me up. Really enjoy the detailing too. I'm learning that as I've gotten a little bit older that the auto detailing is a young man's job, but it's not something that I'm incapable of still doing. I can still do it, and I do it very well because I'm a perfectionist. I mentioned that already. But really enjoy the auto detailing. I think that's why I enjoy things like woodworking too, because you're creating something with your hands. You're turning something out of nothing. So with auto detailing, you're taking this vehicle that is very dirty and you're making it super clean again, and you see that visual transformation, which I absolutely love. I love seeing the results of my labor. So auto detailing. Also have started doing some pressure washing on the side. So I'm just so far I've only done some things for my wife's family, but pressure washing their houses, their decks, furniture, outdoor furniture, that kind of stuff. I already have the tools, going back to what I mentioned about woodworking. I already owned a pressure washer and various types of cleaners and brushes and hoses and electrical cords and everything that you need to do power washing on location. So I decided, well, I can easily do things like that. So that's something else that I'm considering branching out and doing more of, is power washing, doing people's driveways, their sidewalks, their houses, that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. Stay tuned. Lawn mowing is another thing. If you've ever thought about doing some landscaping on your own or cutting grass, of course there's apps that are available now. Lawn Starter, Lawn Love, and Green Pal are the three that I just created accounts with, where you can bid on lawn mowing jobs in your area. So I've got a couple of lawn mowing gigs that I'm going to do next week. We'll see what happens with that. Most people, when they are looking to work for themselves for the first time, what's the first thing that comes to mind, right? Driving for Uber, delivering food for DoorDash. Well, I've done both, and that is definitely something that you can do, and that I've done a little bit of since I haven't been working. It's not my number one choice of things. You can't really make all that much money doing it, and then of course you have expenses because you're driving your vehicle, and of course your time. There's a lot of time that you have to spend that you're just kind of hanging out in your car waiting for the next job to come available. So, but I have been doing that, and that will be kind of a last resort type thing. If there's nothing else going on, I can always hop in the car and go knock out some rides. So the other thing I also am pursuing is driving a school bus because it offers some great flexibility. The pay is really good, and it's also easy to do. I've recently been in touch with a local school bus company. It's a smaller one in the area. Got to meet the owner, great person, and so I'm pursuing potentially driving for them in the fall. So I'm kind of excited about that. I love driving and I love being outside, and so that kind of checks off two things for me. And also you have the flexibility of working a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the afternoon. You have the middle of your day free. You're off on the same days as your kids for school. You're off during the summers. Most school bus companies will put you on unemployment during the summer, so you're still making a small amount of money over the summer while you're not working. So that's definitely something that I'm intrigued by. So we'll see what happens with that as well. So I guess my whole point is, I thought it would be kind of cool to create a YouTube channel and kind of take you along on my journey and see what happens. And then I can, document this for myself. And then if you find some entertainment value from watching me make a fool of myself online, then absolutely, I hope you do watch. It doesn't really matter if anyone watches this video or not. I know I'm gonna check it out. Maybe my family and friends will. My expectations are pretty low when it comes to, will I become monetized or will I get views? It doesn't matter. I just thought it would be kind of fun to document this journey. I'm using this almost like a journal, because this is all the things that are going on inside my brain all the time. And so maybe it'll be therapeutic for me. Doesn't really matter. If one person is positively impacted from watching my videos, then I consider this a complete success. I really just want nothing more than for people to be happy, and if I can create a silly video that maybe makes you chuckle and brings you some level of joy, then my mission is definitely accomplished. So thank you for watching my first video here on YouTube. I'm gonna try documenting some of my woodworking builds coming up. I've got some other ideas of some things that I can build and projects I can work on. I've created some content in the past with my auto detailing business, so feel free to check out some of those videos. You're going to find the majority of those on my Facebook page. So check out Mac2 Auto Detailing on my Facebook page, and I'll link it down below. I think you can do things like that on YouTube from the videos that I've watched. Feel free to subscribe and click the little bell so you'll be notified when I put out a new video. Like the video. From what I understand, all those things help with the YouTube algorithm. So thanks again for watching. My name's Aaron, and I'll see you all soon.